There are few places on this planet that captivate the public's interest quite as compellingly as Alcatraz Island. Based just off the coast of San Francisco in California, the small island is most famous for its now abandoned federal prison, which housed some of the world's most notorious criminals, such as Al Capone and George Machine Gun Kelly. Despite its island base, there was nothing idyllic about the location. In fact, legend has it that Alcatraz Island is the most haunted place in America. Overwhelmed by federal facilities and cut off from the outside world, it's easy to see why Alcatraz Island was feared by even the most renowned career criminals. But whilst the mere idea of the island had mass murderers quaking in their blood-embellished boots, it didn't so much as raise a shiver with Mary and Jean Comerford, who spent 13 years living on the island with their parents and elder sister, Carol. The Comerford family made the brave decision to move from the Bronx in New York City to Alcatraz after the girl's father became a correctional officer at the high-security prison on the island. The family sold everything they owned and trekked across America to their new island home. At the time, Mary was only 3 weeks old and Jean hadn't yet been born, meaning that both girls would spend their entire childhood on Alcatraz Island. Rather than choose to live on the mainland and commute to the island every day like a majority of the families, the Comerfords opted to live directly on the isolated landmass where they were given a 3-bedroom house with beautiful views. But they weren't alone. They shared the island with around 60 other families who had chosen to also live on the island. There was a wonderful social life for children, Jean recalls. We had numerous parties. We had Christmas parties, Halloween parties, we had dances. Not only that, but the children were essentially allowed to freely roam the island, despite the fact that it was inhabited by some of the world's most dangerous criminal characters who'd been put on Alcatraz to stop them from ever escaping. I actually remember a couple by name, Pat and Flat Top, Jean explains. They would do various jobs around the island, repairing this and that. Prisoners would even come into our house to collect our garbage without a guard. To attend school, the girls would catch the ferry back to the mainland with all the other children that lived on the island. Once on the mainland, they first realized that their lives were very different to the rest of their classmates. One particular event that highlighted how different their lifestyle was occurred in May 1946. Whilst playing outside with their friends, the girls heard a piercing siren. This wasn't altogether unusual, for an alarm sounded every day at 12 p.m. But this time, the bells rang at 2 p.m. Immediately the children were all ushered inside by one of the mothers who knew something bad was happening within the prison. The situation? What is now known as the Battle of Alcatraz, an unsuccessful attempt made by several inmates to escape the facility. Their attempt to flee caused a bloody battle at the prison, resulting in the deaths of 2 corrections officers. In total, 11 guards were injured, including Mary and Jean's father, who lay on the prison floor pretending to be dead for a whole night after being shot in the commotion. It was certainly not an event that children in an ordinary setting experience, but one that really awoke the girls to the dangers of their alternative lifestyle. They still find it hard to believe that they lived such a chaotic life, despite having left the island over 50 years ago. Now they return each year, but they don't plan on living there again.